Good morning, grade 6. How are you today, miss? Today we will start, inshallah, with lesson 7 from chapter 1. Ratio and rate problems. As you can notice, we're still talking about ratios, about rates, but now we are speaking about problems from real life. Okay, and actually we will depend on the on proportion concept to find the missing quantities. So my objective today is to use the proportion, okay, to solve and find out the missing quantity. Now let's start immediately talking about proportion and how to use it in this example. You can see that it's a problem from real life, okay? They say Kelsey can read 4 science fiction books in 10 hours. Assuming all of the books are the same length, how many hours would it take her to read 50 science fiction books? So as you can notice here, I have three known values that there is a ratio for let's say there's a rate or a ratio that she can finish 4 books in 10 hours. Okay, so this is a kind of rate or ratio. And then they ask us, if I don't have, if my books are not only 4, if they are 50 books, so how many hours will she take to solve them, okay, or to read them, okay? Now, so in step 1, I have to identify the knowns, values which I have, okay, and the unknowns, the variable that I have to find out. Here I want to find out the time, okay, how many hours will she need to finish the 50 books. So you can look in step 2 how we block values into proportion. We say she's reading 4 books in 10 hours, and they say that the rate is the same because she has a rate of reading the books according to time, so it equals to 50 books. The new known value is 50 books, but I don't know how many hours. So the unknown is x. I will put it, look, face to the old hours, okay, which are 10. It means that I put the same variable that has the same unit, facing the other variable that has the same, or the other value that has the same unit. I put the same units in the same position. I put books in the numerator, so I put the 50 books in the other numerator. I put hours in the denominator, so I have to put hours in the other denominator. Then I use the proportion to solve. How is that, miss? I multiply 50 times 10 equals, okay, or it's equal to 4 times x, which is 4x. As you can see here, I make here cross multiplication. Now I have 500 equals to 4x, okay. Now, is it difference if I put, the 500 here in the left side or right side? No, miss. It's the same because I'm talking about equivalent ratios. So all of the left side equal to the right side, okay? So 4x equals 500. Now, I don't want 4x. I actually want only 1x. So what shall I do? I divided 4x by 4. So 4x divided by 4, and because it's an equation, it's an equivalent ratios. They are an equivalent ratios, and it's an equation. Whatever you do in the right side, you must do it in the left side. So since you divided by 4 in the left side, you have to divide it by 4 in the right side. 500 divided by 4, it equals to 125 hours, okay? Now, so as you can notice that they tell us actually about the steps in this slide, the steps of solving proportion. When solving proportions, follow these rules. First of all, you have to cross multiply, then divide both sides by the number connected to the variable. Why, miss? Because I want my variable to be alone. I want to find out the value of the variable itself. It's not as a product or not as a quotient. I want to find only x equals my target is to reach when I write x equals, okay? Then check the answer to see if it makes a true proportion. How? By substitute and find out. For example, you have here a problem 52, okay, over 4 equals n over 7. What shall I do, miss? Here I will multiply n times 4 and 52 times 7, as you can see here. So it will be 4n equals 364. Then, as I said, I don't want only one 4n, I want only one n. So I get rid of 4. How is that, miss? It's multiplied by n, so I divide it. How can I make the factor that is multiplying with n is 1? Actually, by dividing by 4, because 4 divided by 4 equals 1. It equals 1. So, and since this is an equation, so whatever you do to the right side or to the left side, you must do it to the right side. So I divide again here by 4, here by 4. So n equals, look, 364 divided by 4 equals 91. Okay? So actually we can find out that the missing number is 91. How can we check? Actually, we can substitute. We can substitute instead of n91 and see if my solution is reasonable and correct. Again, this is another problem before we go to the class or the book problems. It's 6 over 15 equals x divided by 20. So what do? I make a cross multiplication or I cross multiply. Now 6 times 20 equals to 15x. Now 6 times 20 is 120. Okay, and here I have 15x. I want x to be alone, so I divide it by 15, both sides. Don't forget, miss, both sides, because it's an equation. So there's an equal sign and it's an equation. So divided by 15, divided by 15. Why do I divide by 15? Because 15 is the factor of x. I don't want it to be next to x, so I divided by 15 to get rid of it. And whatever you do to the left, you do to the right. So you divide 120 by 15 again, and the answer is 8. X equals 8. Okay. Now, since we finished the lesson, or the introduction of the lesson, please let's go to the book and start solving guided and discuss together what you have or you haven't actually understand both. Okay.